We're continuing our coverage now of the push to address flooding issues in downtown Whiteville.
This is what parts of that area looked like 2 weeks ago after a nor'easter storm dumped 8 inches of rain. Emergency crews had to make several rescues. WECT's Connor Smith was at Whiteville City Council meeting tonight. Connor, council members just heard from a number of neighbors pleading for help.
Yeah, that's right, Fran, and their message was pretty clear. City leaders need to do something. Neighbors say they can't live through another episode of what happened there earlier this month. It was standing room only inside City Hall tonight. Speaker after speaker asking city leadership for help during the public comment period. One of them was Elizabeth Casatati. Her donut shop on South Madison Street left underwater after that recent storm. She told council members directly tonight they need to find a fix for the flooding. She says her business flooding more and more, the problem only getting worse.
Nothing has been done. Nothing is getting done. And we, as the business owners, the taxpayers, we're tired, and we're taking a stand.
City Manager Darren Curry gave a presentation after that public comment period ended. He shared what the city has done to address flooding in recent years, including committing millions to creating a stormwater department and boosting drainage in different parts of Whiteville. He explained why certain parts of the city flood worse than others. The city manager says it's a difficult and expensive problem to solve, but he says they're looking at ways to reduce impacts moving forward. Now, one neighbor's suggestion to city leadership tonight, they could post the city's long-term flooding plans online, and council members did seem receptive to that idea. Fran?
Well, Connor, what specific ideas is the city considering to address the flooding?
Yeah, what we've heard from Mayor Terry Mann so far, the city could buy out the downtown properties that are prone to flooding, raise the height of those buildings, or even dredge the nearby swamp. But the mayor says all of those options would cost the city millions.
No doubt. All right. Thanks so much, Connor.